Welcome back, everybody. Too Much Movie Night Draft Edition. We're back. We got the Too Much crew back together. We are here for our first ever collaborative movie draft. We're going to duke it out, decide the top 13 Brad Pitt movies. Got some tough calls, a little veto drama, and maybe some too much passion over a guy who's aged like a fine wine. Buckle up, it's Brad Pitt time.
Can I veto that?
Yeah, I thought I'd make a little stab in there for him, but we'll be nice. Because, I mean, clearly this is a fan favorite of this show. Brad Pitt, I think I counted up. We've done at least 6, might have been 7 movies of his already. He is our common denominator here. So to start off our first ever draft show, it's got to be Brad Pitt.
It's got to be. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, okay. So, yeah, 6 or 7 movies, but he's been talked about in every episode almost.
This is true.
Yeah. Because of
Steve's
this guy over
doppelganger,
here.
you know.
Yeah.
He's got an obsession.
Yeah.
I think he's more obsessed with me. If anything.
Right.
That's what it is. That's where it's at. Well, folks, if you haven't seen a collaborative draft work before, you haven't seen any other shows that do it, we're going to be building a 13 movies here. We're going to go in an arranged order here. Each of us are going to have either 3 or 4 movies. We'll go top to bottom. Or bottom to top, 13 to 1, just picking our favorite Brad Pitt movies, the best movie, his best performance, what have you, whatever the reason is. But yeah, we'll go 13 all the way up to 1. Our drafter slot, so if you are drafter A, you'll have pick 1, 5, 9. Drafter B will have pick 2, 6, and 10. C will have 3, 7, and 11. And then D will get picks 4, 8, 12, and 13. You get the extra one there because, of course, there are some lower value ones. We talked about some vetoes there. Drafter A gets 2 vetoes. Everybody else gets 1, but Drafter B will get a veto override. So if JJ absolutely goes crazy and thinks that Megamind needs to be at number 1 and I want to bust out my veto there, I can throw out my veto and block him from doing that. But if Alyssa says, hold up, I override that because I do believe Megamind should be number 1, then she can do that. So the only caveat with that override is you cannot use it for your own movie. So JJ, if you have that override, you can use it for any of our movies that get vetoed except your own.
Okay. That is fair.
Everybody feel good about where we're going here?
I'm ready to roll.
All right, well, let's get out that lovely spinner here. We're going to figure out draft slot A. Let's get that spinner going. Here we go. I mean, do any of you guys have a position?
Oh my God!
So against the A.
That was what you didn't want too, wasn't it?
I didn't want
it.
A and I didn't want D. Okay. Here
So
we
she's
are,
putting the
though.
cherry on top with pick
I'm
number
here
1.
for it. Let's do it.
In my hands.
Alrighty, number 2. Steve, is there a pick you don't want?
No, doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter.
He's just
Well, it's not
happy
going to be
be
2
here.
either. I mean, it's kind of working out. Alyssa A, Brian B. I guess, Steve, you're getting pick S. I don't know how we're going to get all the way down there. JJ, you got J.
Are you going to take off you and Alyssa?
That's probably a good call, huh? Let's go ahead and hide that slice.
I mean, it's only fair.
It's only fair. Oh, and now we got to... Yep. Oh, look at that production, folks. We got to love that. Just get rid of Alyssa just altogether. Gross. All right, last one for C. Who's got it? Round and round. There we go. Steve's pulling off last place.
With the C.
I get the veto override.
Oh.
No, B has the override.
Not according to your rules.
Oh, okay. I guess the show doc has it wrong.
No, now you change the rules.
No. Over there in the middle section there where the veto check mark is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Veto override. All right. So Steve C.
That means
And
JJ,
JJ
is D.
Hey,
Yeah.
but JJ, that means
Daddy.
you're gonna be starting us off. Yeah,
I know.
Daddy.
And I'm very pumped to start us off. I am.
You got some movies you want to make sure you get in there for sure?
Yeah, one specifically, and I was saving it for my very final pick, which is my first pick. So I am pumped to do it.
Awesome. Well, I guess before we dig too much into it, Brad Pitt, he's known for, 40-some movies we're going across here. Of course, narrowing it down to pick 13. Did you guys have a hard time finding 13 movies that you've seen? How many movies did y'all do in preparation for this?
I've done probably about 25 to 30 years of preparation for this.
So he's good.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's just I've sort
was-
of been there. Done.
I was waiting for you to say, I woke up and looked in the mirror and I was ready. That's what I was hoping you were going to say. Thank God you didn't.
Right.
But
Yeah, I think I squeezed in like 5 movies over the last week or so. Just Brad Pitt movies, mostly ones that I've seen. One that I hadn't seen, one that I've been wanting to see for quite some time, and it's not going to make the list for me. I'm not going to say which one it is, but he was in a lot less of the movie than I thought, based off just the cover of the movie. So I'm glad I did check that one off my list, so it kind of helped narrow it down where we're going here. But Brad Pitt, he's been a huge part of my life. I mean, I feel like I saw him very early on, and he was one of those guys that when he came out with a new movie, I was like, ooh, I know him. I want to see that next one. Let me see the next one. Of course, we had the Ocean's trilogy that was a big part of the early 2000s. So many other great ones.
I agree. You know, I mean, I think like, I mean, you know, I was in high school, I think, when I started seeing like Brad Pitt movies, you know, and then then right after that. And it's just, I want to say since then, like my entire adult life, you know, has been really filled with Brad Pitt movies. And it's just, I mean, because he's made so many damn movies, and
many.
consistent. You know, he's been one of those guys that's like consistently made great. I think
Like every other year, at least he's got one. From '89 to 2022, he did 48 movies, and I know he's got a few that have come out since then. But it's wild how busy that man is.
I didn't realize how many like TV shows he's been a part of, even if it's just like one episode, like cameo
Yeah.
appearance, or like just look at his producing, which
Yeah.
holy shit, that list is so much longer than the movies he's been in. So
Especially like the last 15-ish years, like that's a huge beefed up number, which I was completely blown away that he was a part of so many movies.
it made me wonder, like, what does that really entail? Like, how did he produce this movie? Because there wasn't really anything that involved him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, how much of that is just tagging on a big name to the movies, just to kind of help
well,
carry
I
it
think
along.
that like if you look at his whole little filmography stuff, that he really didn't even get into producing stuff until about 20 years of acting.
Yeah.
Right? He had 20 solid years, almost 20 solid years of acting before he really got into, or maybe 18 or 20, before he started producing. So I think, honestly, I think that's kind of a huge testament to where he put in the work. And then I don't know whether he started a production or what, you know, or just decide, okay, I'm gonna start producing now, or and going that route. But yeah, I think that's a huge testament. He didn't just jump in like, all right, I'm gonna be a movie producer, and,
Yeah,
right off the bat.
I honestly thought like somebody started a production company and then they were like, "Hey, Brad, we'll give you 10% if you just, let us put your name on there."
I feel like you see though, there's a good amount of actors that do that. Like they go into Hollywood, they're just an actor, and then they get deeper into like the film. Like Reese Witherspoon, she's done a lot, especially with like Apple TV. Leonardo DiCaprio.
I mean, look at Clint Eastwood, like his career.
Yeah,
the way
or like
it's-
Margot Robbie. She's really gotten into it in the past couple years. I found it funny that Brad Pitt's production company or whatever is called Plan B Entertainment. It's just thought that was funny.
Oh, Brad.
Oh, William.
Silly bee.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and dive in here. JJ, you are kicking us off from the D spot. You get picks 13 and 12. So start us off. What is your first movie to go onto the list?
So
Ooh.
this one's really, it's actually pretty personal because I didn't watch it until I was about in my 20s, I guess, but I fell in love with this movie. And it's an older Brad Pitt movie. A River Runs Through It.
Oh.
That movie really, like, I got into fly fishing, and then somebody said, you need to watch A River Runs Through It. And so I did. And yeah, there's a little bit about fly fishing in this movie, but I mean, I love it. Makes such a great movie.
I remember when that movie came out, and it was, I guess, it was probably like his biggest sort of production. You know, like the first movie that I really remember him in was like Thelma and Louise, but a river runs through it was, I think, the next one. I don't know. He probably had a couple movies, but it was like the biggest production movie that I remember him in. You know, to where he really kind of like,
I mean,
made a name for himself. I think
you really get to see his acting abilities because it's fun, young Brad, and then there's tragedy.
Yeah.
Like I think he really shows that he did an amazing job, and he could last in Hollywood with it.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the couple of early Brad Pitt movies I haven't seen. I was like, oh, which one do I watch? And I didn't pull the trigger on this, and there was two others that I wanted to. But
I will say you would not have enjoyed this movie, Brian.
it's kind of what I thought. This and Legends of the Fall, I watched the trailer, and I'm like, I just don't know if that's me.
that was such a great movie.
Yeah, I've heard references to it all over the place, but it was one of those ones like, I can see myself getting bored, not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Too love story for me and too Western feel. Draft order will dictate the veto line. Alyssa up first. I mean, is anybody in contention to veto this?
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, me too. Steve?
Nope.
JJ? You feel like you screwed up there?
No.
All right, River runs through it. Our first Brad Pitt movie. Stamp it in. Give me number 12, JJ. What you got for me?
That's a tough one. I kind of want to get vetoed on it.
Oh, well, no, I'm not veto baiting over here.
You just want to throw it out there to test the
I do.
waters.
I mean,
go
see how
ahead.
we feel.
Veto me, I dare you.
Well, no, I mean, I really want. I really want Spy Game at number 12.
Ooh.
I watched the trailer, and it didn't intrigue me enough to turn it on. But again,
I like
90s
it
Brad
because
Pitt, I struggle
it
with.
gets it makes you think throughout. Steve, I figured would have something to say about it.
Well, I mean, I've seen it. You know, Robert Redford. You know.
Yes.
But it just, I guess, I mean, I liked it. It wasn't as memorable of a. It's not. I don't know if it's one of his top 13. That's the thing, but or top 12 even. So
I was going to
I don't
say,
know.
is this official? Are we nominating it, JJ? Or are you sitting on that fence?
Are you allowed to bring up a movie name and gauge?
Yeah, it's
where
a collaborative.
everyone's at?
It is a collaborative draft.
It is a collaborative
Okay.
draft.
Okay.
Collab draft. Yeah.
Are we like sharing
It's-
if the movie made our list or not?
That's up to you. I'm trying to keep a little bit close to the vest here because, like I said, there is a top 8. I have 8 movies that I will be upset if I don't get all 8 of these.
I knew Spy Game
Yeah.
wasn't going to be on there, and
Spy Game didn't make my list. And I have a
I mean,
list
mine either.
more. I have 15.
But at the
just
same
in
time,
case.
you're not pulling a veto out of me. So if you pick it, it's probably sticking.
no,
for
I
me.
know that. So I think actually, let's put 7 on there at number 12.
Why are you being a bitch like that?
You are like
Yep.
veto baiting right
There
now.
it is.
That's because
There
you're
it
trying
is.
to pluck the vetoes
wanna
out of
pluck a
us,
veto?
aren't you?
I am. Hey, it's a strategy, baby. Let's do it. Let's.
And you're
who
just
wants
going to
it?
ruin the draft
You
by
only
putting
got
7
one,
at
bro.
12.
Who wants it?
Alyssa, you are up first for
Well-
option to veto.
I have 2 vetoes.
This is true.
And
JJ, this
if
is really
there's
your 12th
any
best?
movie I'm gonna waste it on, use
So-
it on, it's 7.
Is it? Because he has one line that is rememberable through this whole movie. Everything
No,
else
but
is
it's
Morgan
the
Freeman.
movie.
Everything
Like,
else
you
is Morgan
can't watch
Freeman.
that, but you can't watch that movie like the first time you see it, you can't repeat that.
You don't ever get that again, and it's so
There's
amazing.
a couple of Brad Pitt movies where the twist at the end is just that first time you see it, you will never forget, and it's impactful. Yeah. What's in the box? Come on.
I knew that quote before I'd even seen the movie. Yeah. Like I don't care if that's his only memorable quote. That's memorable enough. But I'm not I'm not vetoing it. I guess Alyssa, did you decide yet?
Well, I tried to, but you guys talked over me.
Sorry,
so.
my bad.
Is this locked in for sure? Or are we just shits and giggles right now?
You can veto it if you'd like.
Yeah, he's got it locked in.
Okay, veto that shit. It is not deserved to be number 12.
Alyssa's first veto off the board. JJ's
What
over
a
there.
D move.
I
Yeah,
thought it was
The
a D. I
D-grade
that is a
agree.
dick move.
I agree.
Man,
Hey.
that better have been strategy. Otherwise, that's an insult.
I think we're gonna put names by the picks. So I mean, the people will come after JJ for putting 7 down there at 12. If anything, put it to 7. That's where it belongs. Come on.
Come on now. Oh, I love it.
All right, what's that new 12th pick, JJ?
The Big Short. That is such a great story about one of the greatest financial.
I just don't think that he was. It's a good movie, but I don't think he was great in it.
So this is the one I've always wanted to watch. I never watched, but I did just watch a few days ago, and I was shocked at how little he was in the movie.
Yeah. But it is a great movie, I think. I really love that movie.
For sure.
Yeah, it is good.
I didn't want to have to pick it because I don't think I would have put it on the board, but I don't mind it being on this list. I think it was a good movie.
Yep.
I'm not going to change JJ's spot, but a River Runs Through It is better than, especially a Brad Pitt movie, better than a Big Short. So
Interesting.
the Big
All right.
Short's a good movie, but yeah,
You guys,
not
I might
not
be
the one that I would pick.
I might be watching a River Runs Through It this weekend. Yeah,
See,
you might be
it'll-
changing me.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wrong one.
You'd appreciate it.
I crossed out the wrong one off my list. Sorry.
Well, Steve, that puts you up next at number 11
All right,
Thank
I'm on-
God. Moving
I'm
on.
I'm on the clock now.
on the clock.
I love fucking shit.
All right.
Veto
So-
Vader.
Now, when I'm looking at Brad Pitt movies, in a lot of ways, I'm like, okay, yeah, great movie, but really, I'm more of looking at how he did in the movie, you know, and his character and that stuff coming out. And so, for my number 11, the number 11 slot, I think Brad Pitt like really kind of like showed a lot of range, and early on, he showed a lot of range, and just kind of like, you know, just it made everybody go like, what the fuck? That's Brad Pitt. It's 12 Monkeys, where he like tripped out. He was like a psychotic dude, but it was such a great performance, I thought, from him. So my 11th pick is going to be 12 Monkeys.
It's not the one I thought you were going to pick. Interesting. But just the way you're describing it, I was like, oh, I totally know which one it is. Nope, I would have been wrong.
That is the one I have never seen. And I saw it and I was like, I should watch that. And I didn't. So
Same.
That was on my list. That was in my third tier.
So
That's a
you
good
guys
one.
haven't seen? Oh, you've seen it? Then,
I
Alyssa?
saw it a long time
time
ago. And earlier this week, I did a quick little like YouTube remind me of the movie in 10 minutes. And yeah, that's a good one. That's an early one too.
It's an early one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so far we've had three early Brad Pitt movies. Of course, we had to peel one of them off because it was stupidly placed. But
you're welcome.
12 Monkeys. Yeah, that was what mid to late 90s. Is what that was.
95.
Yeah.
And it won a Golden Globe. And it was nominated for Academy Award. So it's a good one.
Yikes. That's where I'm a little scared with some of these award movies. I don't have them ranked with consensus, I don't think.
You know,
I mean,
I
you
was
got to know what it's about. You know, in a lot of ways, you got to sort of understand. To be able to get into it is like, just like it's a good story. And they've
Yeah.
even had like other, I don't want to say remakes or anything like that. I don't know if it may have been a remake. I don't remember. But yeah, it's a really interesting kind of story. So.
Nice. Alrighty. Well, we're into the top 10 movies. This is where we really get it rolling. This is the bread and butter, the good part of the show here. And I'm gonna start us off with a movie. I have to put it on here. I have to play it here because I can't play it any higher. This is not in my top 8, but this is a movie I'm worried it won't make it in. God, looking at my list, my top 13, 3 movies are not going to make it. That's I think this is one of Brad Pitt's most fun characters. He plays a stoner in True Romance, and I think that's one of his most iconic roles. He traded in the weed for creatine in this movie. It's the same style of character, just that dumb, over the top. He's a little fun. Burn after reading is what I'm going with here. This movie came out, 2008? George Clooney, Brad Pitt. You've got John Malkovich in it. So damn funny, just Brad Pitt in it. It's like he plays a moron. It's not his style of character at all. A black comedy, not at all what I expected when I first watched this in high school. But yeah, Burn After Reading, number 10.
Does he own the bike in that movie, or is that George Clooney that owns the bike in that movie?
It's him. It's his
He
bike.
does.
It is his bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
John Malkovich is making fun of it. He goes, "You come rolling over here on your Schwinn," and Brad Pitt's like, "You think that's a Schwinn?" Just fucking great. I love it. Alyssa, you would be first up to veto if you're throwing it out there. Where you at on?
I'm
Burn
cool
After
with
Reading?
it. Well, I only got one veto left, so I'm not using it on that.
Steve, have you seen it?
Honestly, it's been a long time.
I was gonna say I don't think this is one I remember watching with you. I think this was a Netflix movie for me.
But yeah, I'm gonna veto it just because I don't think it needs. It's definitely not one of his. It is definitely not one of a top 10 of his movies. I mean, you look at this list of movies. That is not a top 10. I'm getting rid of that crap right there.
He was funny in it, but
He was
wasn't
funny.
It wasn't like it wasn't a great one.
It's not. It doesn't deserve to be in the top 13, much less the top 10. Veto that crap.
You're gonna make me play it at 6? Are you really gonna make me play it at 6?
If you want to play it
stick
at
to
6,
your
you can
list,
play it at
sir.
6. But it does not belong in the top 10.
I'll save my veto for 6 if you
I
want
shouldn't
me
have
to
showed
do
my
that.
hand. I shouldn't have showed my hand and said I wouldn't play it at 6 because I can't play it at 6. There's too many other movies I want
No.
up top. That's why I
You
didn't.
have a top 8, you said. And
Yeah, I
don't
do.
think that
Cut
was
it.
in it.
He's
so-
not. I really wanted draft position C or D so I could put it down there 11, 12, 13 because I think it deserves to be on this list. But like
I don't
you said,
think
maybe
so.
not top 10.
I don't think it deserves to be on the list either, just because he's wearing
Bike shorts the
fucking-
whole time.
bike shorts.
What are you talking about? Some of his best movies, he's wearing practically nothing up top. Come on. All right. Well,
I think it's extra fun to see him in those types of roles, which I could see why that is maybe why you picked it, because we don't see him in roles like that where he's just like goofy and.
well, then that puts me in a real. Oh man, I really want to play True Romance. Just his other version of that role.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Do you need to go take a breath? Do we need to have a 5 minute?
Look, I'm telling you, you put me on tilt with this. The way it lined up, this
You're
was exactly
spazzing.
the way
You're
I did
doing
once.
what you do in fantasy football, and you're fiddling
Tilt-
with
yeah.
shit right
Yeah,
at
it's
the
called a
line,
pivot.
and you're gonna lose. And this is collaborative, so do not sink the ship, Brian.
We're a team.
Give me
we
Troy.
are a team
Right?
together.
Same team.
Oh,
Give me
Oh.
Troy.
Troy.
why?
Okay.
Defend that shit.
What did Troy do to you?
I
just
like
kidding.
Troy a lot.
I'm just kidding. I actually
like
love
Troy
it.
a
It was
lot.
on my list too.
I like Troy, but it's not part of my
I
top
was I
8.
was gonna put it. I was
put
gonna
that
put it a
little-
little bit higher.
I
But-
probably would have too because I really kind of dug it. I like Troy a lot.
I am not in any way vetoing that. If Troy's on the list at number 10, it's in the top 10. Let's
It's
do
top
the
10.
damn thing.
I can
Yeah,
roll with that.
I wanted it higher,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like where my list is, there's other movies I want higher, so I don't want this
Yeah.
to bump it out. So yeah, I got to get it on the list though. So 10, give me Troy. No vetoes.
What is my heart rate at right now? Wow, you got it up, man. Trying to
Hey.
put True Romance
God.
on number 10? What is
Damn.
wrong with you?
Let's fucking put Alyssa in that position.
It was the hard pivot. I wanted Burn After Reading. It's breaking my heart that it won't make the list now.
Damn.
You selfish sons of bitches. You selfish, selfish sons of bitches. Troy, yeah, 2004 movie. I mean, it's legendary. It's 2 hours, 43 minutes. Just some great stuff. Orlando Bloom, Eric Bana. Like, there's just so much going on in this movie. Rose Byrne was in this. Like, completely forgot that she was a part of this
but
movie.
him
Oh.
as Achilles, he was great.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
He was
That
I mean,
fucking-
he was great.
That scene where you have the gigantic motherfucker like coming out like I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And then he just comes out and like dodges it, stabs him in the fucking heart,
I
and walks
think
off.
like it was his maneuvers, his movements that kind of like
Hats
tripped me out.
off.
Because I want to say like the first time like I saw, I was like, I don't care. Brad Pitt played Achilles, but the way that he did his movements and this like off center stuff, and then jumping and and just was like, all right, I'm sold. I'm sold. You know, it was like
Dude,
he did it. He set the stage for any other Greek stuff I've seen, like other shows about
Yeah.
Troy and all that stuff, and like some other Achilles, and I'm like, they're just not fucking as good as Brad Pitt was.
No. I remember seeing this pretty quickly. Like it was a Blockbuster rental, but it was pretty quick after it came out. So I was in middle school. And I remember being like, that was a badass movie.
Yeah.
Can we watch it again?
Yeah.
And I feel like for the length of that and being a middle school girl that was not into those kind of movies, that was a great one.
And I think it was something that, like, I mean, he was beefed up from his, like the Fight Club and Snatch. Like there, he was just ripped. Here, he's beefed up some, but not so much where it takes it away the realisticness. Like I think often of like The Rock in The Scorpion King. Yeah, he looked great. He was big and cut, but like he's just so freaking big. No, like Brad Pitt looked period big. He
it's
didn't
like
look.
it's like 300. How all of the
Yeah.
Spartans are just like, I have a 12-pack, 16-pack, whatever.
Yeah,
And then it's like, here's Brad Pitt. He looks like just a buff, average guy.
He's just that's like the calisthenics
Chiseled
workout
Hercules.
Yeah.
versus the weightlifting.
Yeah, it's
you know?
like this is what this is what push-ups and sit-ups will do to you. Like you don't have to go to the gym.
yeah, no
But you could be
HGH
like
here. It's all just.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so Troy sitting.
I want to say my favorite scene from that movie though is when after he kills Paris and he's fucking like dragging the body around behind the chariot, like yelling at Hector, and I'm just like, fuck, that one like kind of gives me chills because he's just fucking pissed.
It's
He is
provocative.
pissed.
Gets
It
the
is.
people going.
People going. Alrighty, here we go. Pick number 5, Alyssa. Welcome to the club. You get to put your first statement. Well, I guess you get to use a veto, so you've put a bit of a statement on here already. What is your pick number 9?
I am struggling because I've got a top 7 now. And I think that you guys will have them there too. There's one that can fall and maybe won't make it, and that would be okay. So I don't know where to put.
Didn't you just give me shit for tilting? Did you not just give me shit for tilting? And you over there.
I am not tilting. I
That's a
am
tilt.
sticking to my tiers, and I'm not pulling anything out of no. I'm just.
True
I feel like
romance
this
on my
movie
teeth.
that I'm about to put out, you guys may want it a little bit higher.
Then
And
why
how
are you
does that
putting it
make you
out?
feel?
So I'm wondering it. Well, because for me, I would put it here. I'm gonna trust you guys that you guys are gonna pick this up and put it somewhere next.
Oh, you want us to use a veto?
Instead,
You
no.
want us-
Oh no, she wants us
Oh
to
my
pick
gosh! Let me spit it out. Instead of doing this movie, I'm gonna go with Moneyball.
it. Cool. Moneyball. All right. Is it Billy Bean? Is that his name?
I would have gone a little bit higher. I think he
No, I
just
can
passed
see that.
away actually too.
Oh,
I think Billy
think he
Bean
did, too.
actually passed away this past year. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Huh.
seeing that.
So I guess.
But no,
would
I
be
mean
first.
that's like solid spot. Like,
Yeah,
I
is
might
it-
have gone like 7 or 6, maybe.
that's where I
But-
was gonna put it with 7 or 8, but I don't have that choice.
Yeah.
And I think the other one that I would have put there, it's in my like 3rd tier. I think it's higher in your guys's. So this was my switcheroo for that.
Pulling a switcheroo on us here. Look at all right.
Mhm.
Let's just bring in the big guns tonight, folks. Get
The
ready.
skirt.
As far as a veto, I'm not going to veto it. This
No.
is one of my top 8 movies, so just outside where I have it planned. But at 9, I'm okay with it. I like
I
this
was-
movie. I like a good fun analytics movie. I like based on a true story stuff. It gets my rocks rolling. And Jonah Hill, this is when he was like his roller coaster of roles. He'd be fat for one role, the next movie he'd be skinny, and the next one he'd be fat again. Mind blowing, like the way his body would work. But yeah, loved the movie.
It's J Baby and Brad Pitt in one movie. Like, you gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Steve, you pulling a veto here?
You
don't have one.
Mine is
You don't have
already
one.
used.
JJ, vetoing? Or are you holding it?
No, I'm holding it because I believe I have the next pick, and I was going to use it for that. So that's very well put.
Cha-ching.
All right. Well, what is our number 8?
JJ, yeah, you got 8. What you got for us there, Big Pimpin'?
So
Like-
I'm really stuck at this point because it's between two movies, but from the same franchise, and I really think that we get to see more of old Bradley Pitt in number 12 and not number 11. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down right now.
JJ, there is a right and a wrong answer here. You've already made part of your answer incorrect here. But let's tread lightly here, buddy.
I really have to go with Ocean's 11.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank God.
See, I kind of like. Yeah, I would agree with that one more than the 12, more than. But
yeah,
you're right. You get to see more in the 12, but
Yeah, you get a little bit more backstory of
Yeah.
who he
who
is,
he is.
what he's doing, but I think they really also focus more on Matt Damon as well in 12. So I really like him in Ocean's 11 because he's so mysterious at this point that I like that, and I think it's a solid 8th spot.
I like it. That was the movie I was going to put 9, but I felt like that was too low for you guys.
JJ, you're a dick. That's all I can say here. You pick 7 at 12. It gets vetoed, and then your next turn you don't even pick 7. I don't want it at 8. Don't get me wrong. I need it higher than 8. But the
I'm
fact that
picking 8.
you purely freaking were veto baiting.
I'm picking
there.
8.
Completely veto baiting.
Yes, I was. Like my pick is number 8, not 7, so I can't pick 7 at 7.
Why the hell did you do it at 12? Goodness.
You just-
Ocean's 11. It's a little. This one's a little higher for me.
Really?
It's just a touch higher. This is the movie that I would have picked out of the trilogy. I don't really want to see another one on the board. I think one would cover it. So I'm gonna hope we leave the Oceans here at 8, and that's where it sits. So I'm not gonna veto. Also, I guess you do have a veto. Were you?
Nope.
Nope.
Leave it.
And JJ's not. All right, so this one's here. This was an epic movie. I remember seeing this as a kid
Yeah.
and just being mind blown
Oh,
at the
dude.
very end. Watching them, how they did it, revealing all the little intricacies that went into this. This was an awesome movie.
Yeah,
Agreed.
never would have thought that they were the SWAT team going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Nope.
it.
I agree.
The fake vault, the what you call it, the contortionist dude that's like climbing all over the place, jumping in. His little like his fucking comments there, like when they almost blow him up. Oh man, it's great. Awesome movie. Alrighty, Steve, you ready for 7?
I am ready.
Look
for
like
7.
you've been studying there. You got your strategy all mapped out?
I have, and I think so. Unfortunately, so like I have my list of 7. I was kind of going back and forth with this one, but it's on there, and this is a recent one, fairly recent, and where he was such a huge part of this story, and I don't think it would have been any better with anybody else.
Oh,
and
no.
so I'm gonna go Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. What's his name? God.
Tarantino?
Clint,
Quentin.
yeah.
I was gonna go Clinton. Quentin Tarantino.
Clinton.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought Brad Pitt was great in it.
I struggle with this one because I know it won awards. He got Best Supporting Actor in it. I've
I
watched
didn't know
it twice. And I don't know if it's because it's a Tarantino movie. I don't know. I wasn't part of like the cult following. Like I wasn't in the hype club with that.
So-
I felt like I was missing out. But then it won awards, so I feel like that with a lot of award-winning movies. I'm like, it's just beyond my taste. You know, I got beer taste. This is champagne. This is too good for me. I don't get it.
I love a cult following movie about a cult. So this, oh my god, I didn't watch this movie until last year. When I was on a plane, I can't remember where I was going. Either way, I fucking love this movie. From the first time I watched it, like, just the whole Manson case in general is fascinating to me. And the fact that Tarantino was like, hey, let's fuck around with this and make a great movie about it, I am 100% here for it. I really, really want to veto this because I think it deserves a higher spot. But I
Really?
know I do personally, but I know that y'all don't, so I'm not going to waste my veto yet. Because I know somebody's going to fuck around and put Inglorious Bastards at like number 6.
That would be you. That would be you. 100% 7.
Well, that's where this is such a, like I said, I think like, you know, his character in this for beating up fucking Bruce Lee,
Like, it's so
great.
It's so confusing at first because it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Who is this guy? And then like, yeah, he beats the shit out of Bruce Lee, dents the car, like pisses everybody off. I fucking love
I
it.
fucking love it too. Yeah.
So like, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it's now on the list because if it wasn't going to be on there, I was going to have to throw it on my next pick, which is number 4, which I think is a little bit too high for it.
Yeah.
But I'll hit it. I like it, Steve. Good job.
You get JJ's thumb of approval.
But any
Emoji
vetoes.
thumbs.
Don't get that mixed up with his thumb up the ass. That,
But we
you don't
do
want
have
that.
still vetoes though that could still.
Yeah,
could
Alyssa?
veto it.
You holding it?
I'm gonna let it stay because I got a top 6 and I'm saving my veto for
I
that.
just
I
argued the
do
fuck
feel
out of
like
that, so
this
you better
needed
let
to
it
make
stay.
the list. It was in my tier 3, but then once I got to pick 9, I just didn't feel like it. I don't know. I wouldn't have put it that high, so I passed on it. But I let it ride.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it sit here too. I didn't have it this high, but I had Ocean's 11 higher, so I'll let them swap spots.
Ooh.
I will say I have not seen this. This is the only Tarantino movie I have not seen. I'm afraid to watch it.
You need
I
to
can.
Why?
All I can say is I'm afraid to watch it. It just.
So
Leonardo DiCaprio and fucking
And Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt are in the same
So,
together. They're
like,
awesome.
It feels
Look-
like it's gonna disappoint me.
It
okay.
will not.
I will say 4 different things: Brad Pitt, Leo, flamethrower, and just a
Charles Manson.
mushrooms. Oh well, 5 things: mushrooms, Charles Manson.
Yeah, I really can't explain it. Like I love Tarantino, Christopher Nolan. I'm a huge fan, but I haven't seen this. And then Nolan, the only one I haven't seen is Interstellar, and it's the same thing. I feel like it's going to disappoint me.
I know.
The
It
things
won't.
the things I've heard about it, it's just it feels like it's exactly what I expected when I saw the trailer for it. So
Watch it.
I'm gonna see these movies. They've been on my watch list for a while. I'm just incredibly nervous because of how much hype I think I have for these movies. Just loving the director so much.
Watch it.
All right, so it stays.
Yes.
It
Right?
stays.
Yep.
It stays.
All right.
Alrighty, back up on the board. We're digging in. We got 6 movies left, and I've got 6 movies that I need on this list. And this is the bottom movie of my 6. It's a little lower for me, but I can't put it any lower. So there was puberty was about the time that this movie came out for me, and if Brad Pitt didn't awaken something in me, his co-star, she definitely did. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. This
Yes,
movie,
yes, yes.
say what you will about it. I know it has, its flaws, if you will. People kind of hate on it for whatever reasons, but I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a rom-com with just sexy action, and that's just, I mean, maybe not full-on rom-com. You have your little quips or your little moments from them, but that's as close as you get with these two actors. These two actors that put on regular action-style movies. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith is going in at my number 6 spot.
I like it.
I sport it.
I don't have enough to argue against it. I don't think it should be in the top 6, but I don't have enough to argue against it, so I'll let it slide.
It was my number 6, so I'm right there.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah, I did it at 7, so I'm okay with letting it slide in right here. Okay, folks. Hold on to your seats. Listeners at home, I know. We've gone, a river runs through The Big Short, 12 Monkeys, Troy, Moneyball, Ocean's 11, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But now is where we do it. The top 5 Brad Pitt movies. And Alyssa, you get 2 of these top 5 picks here. So really, if this screws up, it's kind of on you. But no pressure. No pressure. Don't freak out. You go for it. What's your pick?
I am like, my heart is pounding right now. I feel so much pressure. Like when we're just doing the normal movie podcast and you have to pick a movie, I get nervous for that. This is like 10 times. I feel like though my top 5, my top 4, I've tried to pick a number 1 all day and there's not much different. Like my top 4 are equivalent, so I'm okay with where they're at. This next movie is just a hair below my top 4. So I don't want you guys to think I'm lowballing it. It's just that we're talking about Brad Pitt here. He's got some great shit. We went through 13 to 6 and now we're in the top 5. Like this is thrilling. So number 5 for me.
I know, she's got me nervous.
Is gonna be Benjamin Button. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, you fucking
Evil.
JK. Rolling.
I was about to throw this computer.
No, number 5, I'm gonna go with Snatch.
Ooh.
What was that? Ooh, that was like a disapproval, it seems like.
No.
His accent, the Irish gypsy. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Did you
Today.
forget?
No, today I'm driving back from the east side of Cleveland. And there is somebody that has a license plate called, and it just says Pikey on the side of it. And I was like, you fucking Pikeys. And like drove around them.
It's not for me, it's for Ma.
I love it. I could listen to them talk over and over again.
He was fucking amazing in that show. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. He was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it as like, first time I saw it, I couldn't believe that he was in it, for one thing. I was like, wait, is that Brad Pitt in this movie?
I mean,
Right, it's not one of his regular.
But then he fucking he goes off to this fucking crazy accent that you can't fucking understand what he's saying,
Oh, it's a subtitle movie, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't fucking understand what he's saying, and he's just like, wow. I was blown away by it. I was like, wow.
I love Snatch. Like I would honestly prefer to watch Snatch over Fight Club.
Ooh,
Enter
really?
my problem, JJ.
Yeah, and I really do want to veto it, but you bring up a valid point, Steve, and Brian, that it is a subtitle movie because you can't understand or figure out what the fuck they're talking about or what they're doing until the very end, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I don't know.
Dude, I'm right. I'm sitting on, like, I've got it in my top 4, and I'm like, do I care enough just to veto it, just to get it one more spot up? Because then I'm worried about the top 4, though. If Alyssa doesn't pick, I have 5 movies left. There's 5 spots. So if she doesn't pick one of these other 5 movies, I will be irate and feel like it's my fault that that doesn't happen. So I'm gonna leave it. I think I'm gonna leave it. I'm pretty confident in these final 4 picks, but I'm gonna let it sit here at 5.
About that?
I'm okay with the top 5 movie at Snatch.
I mean, You got a veto left, Brian.
I do.
I do
but,
too.
like,
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident we're all going to be locked in on these top
I
4
think
movies.
so. I think so too.
Everybody knows that World War Z is going to be number 1. So
You're right,
Good
JJ.
thing I'm picking.
Veto. I'm going to veto it. JJ's going to play World War Z. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my veto here. Snatch. Take it off the board. Alyssa.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm going to use my veto.
Wait, you're for real?
Yep.
I was
Why?
joking.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know
wanted
the
it
wild
higher?
card of JJ. I want it higher. I want Snatch higher.
And World War
Who do you think's
Z
gonna
makes
fucking
top
put it up?
fucking 4.
Because
I'm
I
done.
I
Mic
have
down.
other ones.
Nah, okay. Well,
Oof.
I
have
love
other
Snatch.
ones.
I love Snatch. So Guy Ritchie's probably one of my favorite directors too.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Veto override.
Shit! Fuck! I didn't.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to save that for pick number 4.
Nope, I'm leaving it. Veto override.
Damn.
It's Brian keeps pulling the shit out of me. He keeps trying to pull
yeah,
it
Brian,
out of me.
you're scary tonight. You're risky. I don't know what you're doing, but I feel like you are gonna pull out Mega.
We've got this
number
wild
2.
card over here. Of course, I gotta play it.
You got to risk it to get the biscuit. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Last time I got a biscuit from you, it was soggy. I'm not doing that again.
Well, don't ask for one.
All right, JJ. Top 4. Who
right.
you got?
Oh, fuck a duck.
And for those at home, Alyssa has a veto remaining and JJ has a veto remaining. Steve and I are out of superpowers.
I really wanted Snatch for my number 4 pick.
That's what I
I
want.
was so happy that you were going to veto that. Then Steve ruined it. Because
Way to go,
he
Steve.
is an inglorious bastard. But I have to pick for, I guess, number 4, fucking Fight Club. Because it fits. He did a great job in Fight Club.
What?
Oh shit!
What? Steve, maybe you should have let them veto that because this is horrendous.
I don't.
What?
You just fucking slapped fucking Brad Pitt in the face. You might as well
Did
just
I?
like
In the
reach out and fucking like kick him in the nuts, slap
Oh,
him in the
no.
face, and call him a
Because
bitch.
I'm coming out with a yellow fucking glove asking, hey, you want in on this? And you're not responding. You're just being like, no, I'm going to be a little bitch. I'm not going to do it. So,
I mean, when you pull up IMDb, like Fight Club's number 1.
Oh,
That is.
then you
It's-
fucking
Fight Club
put
is
Fight
not
Club-
number 1.
Not my number 1 either.
Fight
but I
Club is
wish I
not
had my
number
veto.
1.
God.
I do
That
have
is-
my veto.
I'm nervous.
Would you
about
like for
top
me
My
to
five.
Club
veto
was-
my own?
You should veto yourself. You
Yeah.
Because that's
And again, you still didn't pick 7. You picked
I
7
know.
at 12, and you
Right?
still won't.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm throwing y'all for a loop.
Well, there's no veto to be had here. We are Fight Club. Steve, give it to
Oh,
me.
I
your
am
thoughts
on
so
Fight Club?
no.
Wait,
I just
wait,
if this
wait.
is a collaborative,
I have a
thing-
veto. I have a veto.
Oh
I
shit,
forgot.
you do. I
Hold
forgot
on.
to. I literally just said it.
Oh.
Hold on. Hold on. I gotta.
I mean, now this is JJ's last pick, so we're fucking done with him after this.
If I veto this, are you gonna do some stupid shit next,
Am I or JJ?
JJ? Like, I'm scared
I
about
am
what
too.
you'll put here because
So
I'm
This
not
is
going
where
to be
you-
forced into position.
this
to
is
fucking
where
have to
you
pick
need
something I
to
don't want.
figure out some things about yourself.
oh, don't you twist that shit. Don't even. You've been playing games since number 13, buddy. Nope.
So, Alyssa, is this official? Are we using the veto?
I don't know. I kind of need to know if 7's going to be in this spot because there are 3 movies that are fucking excellent. And
Well, are you
Fight Club is
going-
one of them.
Are you going
And
to be
I don't
gluttonous
know if
about your
it's
decision, or
Or is she going to be like you and be petty?
Well, it
That's not a
scares me
seven
that
deadly sin,
JJ
huh?
has a veto
no?
left.
It's not. I
And
do
I'm
have a
afraid
veto
that
left.
he will.
He should veto himself.
I don't know what to do. I feel like I want to use it.
Don't make me get the timer out, Alyssa.
Well, I'm not going to be forced into picking something that I don't want to pick just because JJ fucked up and picked.
I was going to say, Steve, you still have plenty of good picks there left, no matter what goes
I
here.
do, but unfortunately, this is going to fucking bump a good movie down because
I'm okay with Fight Club at 3 or 4.
I don't think Fight Club is number 1. I'll be honest with that.
I don't either.
It is
If
such.
I veto this and you put some bullshit there, Fight Club's going number 1 because that's the only thing I can do to control the situation.
I can't choose.
And I'm not mad about that.
JJ's
If
got a
you
veto.
veto
Watch
my
your mouth,
choice,
Alyssa.
if you veto my choice, it is my choice for number 4. I can't choose number 1. I have to agree to it. Either way, I have to agree to it.
He does have a veto.
But I do have a veto.
I'm not
So-
happy about this. But
Veto
I'm
the
going
fuck out of it.
to
Because
walk
I was
away.
gonna put 7 right there in its place.
I'm okay with it.
Wait, are you lying? Or are you for reals?
I
Being
don't trust
100% for
him.
Real.
Collab draft went out the window 20 minutes ago.
Why
folks.
did you?
If you want to veto it right now, second chance, 7 in its spot, as long as Fight Club doesn't end up as number 1, or I'll veto the fuck out of it.
Which could put you in a real watch. Well, this is gonna have to put Megamind at 1 when Fight Club gets vetoed.
I'm just gonna sabotage it, right?
If-
No. Let's just let it be. I'm not happy about it.
I would fucking.
I don't
veto
agree with
I
it.
would veto it, Alyssa, if I was you. I'd veto it.
But you just said that you're gonna stick with your number 3. I'm scared.
I will, and that's fine. But I will stick with mine. You veto this.
I was
I'll
gonna say
stick with
I won't
mine.
let Fight Club get to you, Alyssa, so JJ can't veto it.
All right, veto that bitch.
Yeah!
Ooh,
Get that
Fight Club
shit out of
the heck
there.
out
Get
of
Fight
there.
Club out of there.
Alyssa's last veto is gone. JJ's the only one with the superpower remaining. JJ, what is pick number 4? Your new one. Get that shit-eating grin
Throw
off
a
your
loop
face.
and put a Glorious Bastards down. Nope, 7.
Watch your mouth. Watch your
I
mouth.
really wanted to piss somebody off.
Oh,
Oh,
see,
it's my
that's where
turn.
7 needs to be.
It's my
And
turn.
1 veto remains.
Yes. I'm going to do
8
Inglorious
spots.
Bastards at number 3.
He's drawing it out of you, JJ.
Inglorious Bastards at number 3,
That's
JJ.
fine. That's cool. I really love that movie. Bring
I
me
do
my
too.
scalps.
He is great. He is great in it.
The accents that Brad Pitt can pull off, like some people try an accent and you're like, it sounds good when my eyes are closed, but then when I look at you, it just doesn't fit. And I feel like Brad Pitt is one of those people that
he does it
pulls
great.
it off.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
That Appalachian. Mm.
But he's got like the body language and the mannerisms, like everything is so fluid that he does. Good pick.
I like it, Steve.
I hate everyone and everything all around us, or whatever that movie's called.
JJ, hey, if you wanted to, you could have JJ veto it if you want, Brian. You could make a deal with them or something.
I mean, we have future drafts.
So, I
coming
have
up,
2
and I'm willing
movies.
to trade vetoes.
2 movies left that
No.
I want to
Future
put
draft.
up here.
No.
Well, I guess JJ. I mean, yeah. Is it my turn? Are you using your veto? Or are you staying put?
No, I love Inglorious Bastards at number 3, and I will gladly leave it there because there are 2 top movies. As long as
I'm going
The
to
movie
die laughing.
I want
if
ends up at number
my
1.
number 1 pick is not what you guys think. Like
I
you
know.
guys are like, no. I am on pins and needles right now. Brian, make a pick.
See,
I'm-
I went with my highest draft pick when I could.
I am on complete tilt because I have 2 of my top 8 movies left, but one of them is not a top 4 movie for me. It's not a top 5 movie for me.
Then
Wait, you have
flick
2
that
of your
shit out
top
of here.
8 movies. Oh, 2 of your top 8 movies. Okay.
Yeah, and one of them's not top 5.
So then you just got to mourn that off camera and.
But
put
if
the
I
new one
pick
up.
if I pick the bottom one that I want to or I don't want to pick, and leave Fight Club for Alyssa, JJ will veto it, leaving us with who knows what, and Fight Club won't make the list.
It's called being a team.
So-
No,
you
it's
gotta do
called
best for
what is
unit.
the first movie going to be? Because I'm going to pick Fight Club. I'm going to pick Fight Club. Because this can't not make it, and I'm worried that JJ vetoes it at 1. But I know what Alyssa's number 1 is. I'm pretty sure, and it's not my top 5. Oh, fuck. Yeah, give me Fight Club at 2. Give me Fight Club at 2. Motherfucker.
I feel so powerful right now.
If I didn't waste my fucking
World War Z
veto,
number 1.
if I didn't waste
this
my
is a
fucking
joke, right?
veto there, I could have dropped it on. Oh my god, I could have dropped it on JJ. I could have dropped it on Steve. I really didn't think you were going to put Inglourious Bastards at 3, Steve. That the biggest fucking wrench in the thing.
I
Oh
couldn't
my
risk.
god.
I couldn't risk JJ vetoing you or Alyssa at number 1 with it.
Yeah.
All right, Fight Club. JJ, are you going to veto it too?
Nope.
All right, Fight Club. It's another one that we talked about. 7 as one of those movies that after the first time you watch it, you don't ever get that back. And this is one of those movies. The reveal. Spoiler, folks, if you haven't picked up, we're going to talk about these movies. Yeah, the spoiler at the end when you realize Tyler Durden is Edward Norton, just everything that
You don't
comes
get
out
that
of
moment
it.
back.
You
No.
don't, and you can
don't
watch
get
the
that
movie
moment
again,
back.
and it's still good. But that first
But
time,
you know.
it's special.
You know.
But it's
Right,
the
that's the
fun
second
thing.
time you're looking.
Yeah, you're paying
clues.
attention. You're like, oh wow, she doesn't actually talk to him. She doesn't actually do this. And it's just so many things you're putting together here. Fight Club. It's just such an amazing movie. It's hard to find what all to say about this.
And just how great Brad Pitt is in it.
100%.
Well, it's not even just Brad Pitt. How great everybody is in that movie.
Yeah.
They should have given everyone Oscars.
I fucking hate Helena Bonham Carter though. She was just a disgusting pig, and it just she made me sick in it. I was just
Oh.
every time I see her on screen, it's just like, ugh,
Yeah, not the best. But as far as a David Fincher movie, this is probably one of his top movies. He did 7 as well. Gone Girl's one of my favorite movies. Social Network's definitely up there as one of my favorite movies ever. Absolutely crushed it across the board with this
I
one.
think Helena Bonham Carter's married to David Finch or something, and that's why she's in it.
No, she's married to fuck, what's his name?
Tim Burton.
Yep,
No.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Tim
think
Burton.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're both creepy with each other.
That's why she fucking looks like a
Creepy
Tim
and
Burton
dark.
character. She looks like a Tim Burton character in it.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, you would hate her in Harry Potter then.
All right,
All right.
folks. Drum roll for Alyssa. Here we go. Putting the cherry on top. Alyssa, what is... JJ still got a veto, so don't mess
do.
up. Don't mess up.
I don't think that you're gonna need that veto. Not that they save and go into the next time we do this. That would be cool if they did. But looking at this list, we've done 4 or 5 of these on the podcast of his movies. So we're obviously Brad Pitt fans. I could have done Inglourious Bastards as number 1. I could have done Fight Club as number 1. But here we are. We're going to pick a very emotionally moving movie with the best fucking cast that they ever could have picked. All of those men in that tank were so
Yes.
good.
War Daddy.
We are going with Fury. How could we not?
Best
That's a
job I ever
movie-
had.
Every time you watch it,
Best job
you're
I ever had.
you're gonna feel it physically. It's not just a good movie, it is a moving movie. It's also historical. I was shocked that Inglourious Bastards, Fury were in my top 2. Those aren't necessarily my style of movies, but they were so good. But just the chemistry of all the guys in the tank,
You know what?
excellent.
I am not mad at that being the number 1 movie. I'm not.
No,
Oh,
I
thank
mean,
God.
Fucking War
I was
Daddy is
100
the shit.
I was 100% saving my veto for Fury to be number 1.
Nice.
That's what I wanted. So, I'm a happy camper. Fury is number 1.
Yeah.
Brian, what you got to say? Because I see you biting
Look,
your
I'm
tongue
right there
over
with you. I do love the cast. Like Michael Pena is like one of my favorite side guys like that you could have. I think this is a great movie. This is a tier 1 movie for me. But I had 5 movies in my tier 1, and I did have this at the bottom. I love Snatch. Glorious Bastards was my number 1. 7 and Fight Club. Like I said, those reveals you don't get them again. And Fury, like we talked about it in the movie podcast. It's a great just kind of sit there and watch it. It's enjoyable. The fun little quips that you get. I mean, we've touched on it. The cast is phenomenal, but not quite my 1. But burnt my veto a little too soon. And I'm not getting my way here tonight, folks. So just 2 through 5 is 2 through 6. I'm pretty happy with.
You're not happy with number 1?
I'm not at 1. Like I said, I wanted it in the top 5. I wanted Inglourious Bastards over Fury. I would take Snatch over Fury as well.
I'm
wouldn't.
okay. I'm happy with it.
I
would
couldn't
take-
do Snatch
I would
over
take
Fury.
Snatch over Fury too.
Yeah. See the Fury if I don't get Snatch. Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I actually don't mind this list. Yeah, I could probably, take Fury down a notch or 2, whatever. But
No.
I'm happy with it. I think it's really
I
good
would
where it is.
I would knock Mr. and Mrs. Smith down before anything else.
So were there any movies that didn't make y'all's top 13 list that you wanted?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I actually had World War Z
Same.
up there too,
See,
like in the 13.
It was
I
my
didn't-
13th.
Yeah.
Was
I had
that in
that
your
one.
top? Like, were you joking a bit ago, or did you want me to pick
Me?
World War Z for 1?
No. I was joking. It's not number 1.
Okay.
No,
It's
it's,
not
definitely not number 1.
I mean, it's good, and he does a good job in it too. But I mean, I like World War Z. I'll watch it every time it's on fucking TV or on the show. Pull it up.
See, I thought Brad Pitt did a decent job. Everybody else in the movie was fucking terrible,
Yeah.
and I can't watch it because of that. I would have
Yeah.
vetoed the fuck out of that. Real
Yeah, I would have been okay with World War Z at like 12 or 13, but that's as high as I would have let it go. It definitely wasn't breaking my top 10. The only other movie outside of World War Z that didn't get in for me was Burn After Reading. I really wanted that in there.
Mine was Interview with a Vampire too. Interview with the Vampire
Oh, I've
because
never seen that.
yeah,
I never-
him and Tom Cruise. It was really good. It was really good. It's a good movie to watch. So that was I think that was like my bottom one, but.
Benjamin Button, we made the joke. I guess have y'all seen it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Fucking hated it.
Terrible.
I
It's
had
his-
that in
it's
my
his
third
Oscar win,
tier
though.
just in case. Like, I wasn't going to put it up, but I think the fact that it won so many awards messed with my mind. Like, should we be? But honestly, our top movies, like above Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they didn't win any awards. They were amazing movies, like fan favorites, but actually, I don't know if Fury did. I don't think they did, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Our top 10 is solid though. Like I would adjust the order a bit, but those are the top 10 movies that I wanted.
I don't know. I think I won this draft with The Bastards, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and fucking 12 Monkeys. I think I for sure won this.
It's a
draft.
collaborative.
collaborative.
Draft. We're working together.
We're all winners.
I don't know. I think
Team
I
trophies.
fucking won. I think I won it. Looking at
I
this,
did
I,
give it
I
to
had the
Alyssa.
best. I had the best draft class
I-
of this, the Brad Pitt draft.
I'd give it to Alyssa.
Well, I'm going with Snatch, so
12 Monkeys is the only one I have not seen
Yeah.
on our list. So,
Yeah, I got a couple, unfortunately. So I need to check out some
And
Brad
to
Pitt, I
think,
guess,
like,
this week.
this is probably less than a quarter of all his movies
Oh yeah.
because he's
So what
got
did we
like
say, 42?
50 something, 48, but that was only until 2022. So he's pushed out a couple recently.
Well, yeah, we're 13 movies in for Brad Pitt, and I'd say this is a success. I think we locked it up, did a pretty damn good job. Not
Yeah.
too shabby for our first collaborative draft there. I'd
No.
say a round of applause, a little pat on the back for you guys.
Nice job. Nice job.
Here,
Nobody-
here.
JJ tried to shit the
Here.
bed, but we pulled it out, folks. That's what adversity is. That's how you get past it.
I veto that comment. Fuck you.
Too bad you're out of vetoes, motherfucker.
No, I'm not. That's my one veto. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, you never used your veto, did you?
Oh, I
Yeah.
think he uses veto at the very beginning of the show when he said, "I'm going to veto that, Brian."
Yeah.
He used it up then.
And
That's-
hey, no rollover vetoes, JJ. Next draft, no, it's gone. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Hey.
Well,
So-
tough shit.
For anyone not watching, you're just listening. Our list in order is Fury, Fight Club, Inglorious Bastards, Seven, Snatch, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Ocean's 11, Moneyball, Troy, 12 Monkeys, The Big Short, and A River Runs Through It. That is excellent. That's beautiful.
Hard to screw up a Brad Pitt draft, I will say. Set ourselves up pretty well.
It was a good first pick.
Yeah. I definitely think so.
I think so.
agree.
So, how do we pick our next draft?
Well, 'tis the season. Do we need to go just knock out some holiday movies in our next one? Because I'm not going to be watching them in April. That's for damn sure.
That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
mean, that's a valid point. I mean, let's knock out some Hollywood movies, and then maybe our listeners can help us unwrap some
Hollywood
good movies
movies?
next time, or some Christmas movies. Sorry,
I was going to say, wait, did I say it
Holiday.
wrong and he heard it wrong? Or what?
I was thinking of something.
Once Upon a Time
Right.
in
Oh,
Hollywood.
Yeah, I was looking at my list.
I like that. Let's go holiday, let's go seasonal, and then take some nominations, some recommendations.
100%.
We could do
Dig it.
people, we could do
Places
like production companies,
and
you could
things.
do whatever.
Whatever. Well, folks, we can't thank you enough for coming to hang out with us. That is going to put a wrap on our Brad Pitt draft, of course. Top 13 movies. Alyssa read them out to us. If you want to see this list, give us a vote. Tell us how we did. Come on, check us out on the socials. It's too much movie night, but we got to get to bed. You know, we got to get the big guy down to sleep. You know, JJ,
right.
he's an old fellow himself. He's asleep.
But join
say-
us next time when we unwrap our favorite Hollywood draft.
Yeah.
Holiday draft. Fuck.
Insert
Boy.
jingle bells. Tick 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 tick.
Is that what they sound like?
That,
No.
that was just
No,
a
that
broken
was the
bell.
camel
We'll get new
from
bells for the
Mummy.
next
Can
one,
I
folks.
can I veto that?
Oh, absolutely. We're all vetoing that one.
Okay.
But stay tuned, folks. Coming at you here in a couple of weeks. We'll hit you with our holiday drafts. Of course, we have our new episodes dropping every Wednesday, a new movie coming at you. But until then, folks, we got to get out of here. Y'all ready to roll?
Let's roll.
Let's go.
Patter.
See you later.